Okay, so today we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about landscape, and we're also going to talk about composition. So, what is landscape? Landscape is the depiction of natural scenery in art. Landscape paintings may capture mountains, valleys, bodies of water, fields, forests, and coasts, and may or may not include man-made structures as well as people. Okay? So here is an example of a landscape. So on the left, you have a tree, and then you've got some bushes behind the tree. And as you can see, there's a body, like a river or a stream running right behind that. And then there's some hills and mountains, and then there's the clouds in the sky. So here are two other examples of landscape paintings. And now we're going to talk about composition. Okay, so composition in art is how things are arranged in a work of art. Okay, so this applies to any work of art, not just landscape. It's basically where the artist put stuff in the artwork. Okay, so in landscape, there are different landscape compositions. Okay, so this is telling us that on the left, it has like the name of the composition, and then on the right of that are two examples of the composition. Okay, so for instance, this one is called, let me see if I can. Yes, so this one is called Steelyard, and it's just telling us that the composition is going to have something large on one side and then something small on the other side. So it looks heavier on the one side. So that's why there's big trees, right, on the left, and then little trees on the right. Okay, so these are just two examples of that. Okay, and then this one is balanced on both sides, right? So whatever has on the left, it has on the right. And then this one is an O, or circular. So it has a lake in the center here that's circular. And then on this one, it has the clouds going in a circle. Okay, so those are two different examples of the circular composition. Then we have the S, okay, and that just means it's going to have something like a river or a road going back into space. So kind of winding back and forth like an S, more like an S laying down, right? Not like this one where it's standing up. The S in these compositions are laying down. So here's a river, and that's an S shape. And then this one, I think, is a road, and that is an S shape. Okay. And then on this side, we've got the pyramid, okay, or triangle. So here we've got some trees, and you could draw a line, and that would create a triangle. Or in this one, you've got two trees on either side and then a cloud in the center. So this creates a triangle. We have the cross. So that's saying you've got a line here and then something vertical here. So we've got the horizon line here, and then we've got the boat mast. That's the vertical line. Okay, and we've got the same thing here where we've got the horizon line here and we've got the two trees, right? Those are vertical. Then we have the radiating line. So that's where you've got something in the middle, and then you have other things coming from there. So here is a tree in this one. And then you've got the clouds coming out radiating from the tree. And then in this one, you've got this little house with a tree, and then you've got the driveway or road radiating out, those lines coming from the house. Okay. And then this is the L or rectangular, it says, composition. And that's kind of like the cross, right? You've got this big vertical thing, and then you've got, and then you've got the horizontal. Okay, so in this case, it's on the left. And then in this case, you have the tree here, and then you've got the mountains here. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so the ones on the bottom, you're going to have to figure out. I don't know how to get out of that. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to choose 4 of these. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, I like the Steelyard one. I like the radiating lines. I like the S, and I like the balanced scales. Okay, I'm just saying you don't have to pick those 4. You could pick whichever 4 you want, and you're going to copy them in your sketchbook. Okay, so choose 4 compositions you like and copy them in your sketchbook. These should be small sketches called thumbnail sketches. They should not be bigger than your phone screen. Okay, so they're going to be small. Make sure you, number 1, label each one. And number 2, so you're going to label it whatever it's called, Steelyard, S-O, okay? And you're going to change one thing in each one to make it your own. So for example, you can change the type of trees that are in the sketch, or if it's a road, change it to a river, or vice versa, okay? So here are some examples. Okay, so this is the Steelyard composition, and that's just saying it's got something big here and then something small here. Okay, so in this composition, they changed the tree. So this is a pine tree when before it looks like something else. And then they have the lake behind it, okay, instead of like a big sky. And this right here, this line is like this line here, right? So it's different because it's close up, okay? And then you've got your big pine tree here, and then you've got like your reeds or your grasses here. So it's just a quick sketch. It's you're making this up. This doesn't have to be from real life. This is just a made up drawing. And then they've got the mountains, and they have a little loon on the water. Okay? So this is just something you make up. You can copy this exactly, but just change this type of tree. So maybe put a pine tree here, okay? And then a smaller one here if you want to make it easier. And then this one is the S or compound curve, okay? So it's like an S lying down. So this person did this one, okay? And again, they changed their trees to pine trees, okay, in the background. And so this is just the water going back in space, okay? The S lying down, and then they've got cattails, right? It's kind of hard to tell, but it is changed. So they've got cattails on the shore instead of these little flowers or ferns. Okay, so you're going to choose 4 compositions from here, and you are going to change one thing about them. Okay, and you're going to draw small little sketches in your sketchbook, and you're going to label them and change one thing.